but great start for this Razor.
They're going to try and get it pretty aggressive onto Bok. AU gets the enchant. They're going to get another kill.
Okay.
Wow.
Right,
Okay.
AU just kind of yoinked that one.
No. Come on, man. He needs some gold.
Sorry, kill secure. Sorry, kill secure.
Yes.
I misspoke.
How dare you speak to AU like that? This guy is... Look at what he's been able to do for them already. He gets 2 kills for Polaris down bottom. It's like, it's only fair that I yoink 1.
Yeah, and these early levels are especially brutal, I think, for this Kato Tiny, because I mean they just don't really have enough damage to kill the Razor or the Enchantress, nor can they really deal with the creeps that come out from the Enchantress. Nearly level 3 on AU already.
The nice thing for them is they did block up the hard camp. So the medium camp by the outpost, so at least AU won't be playing with some creeps early on, top lane. Asta is going to go down, Force and Xavius in conjunction together, Polaris. That's a pretty good start for them in their lanes.
I did not think they would be able to kill the Weaver in this lane, but I'm not sure what Mavis used to Shadow Word. I feel like if you're just buffing up your Weaver with that heal, Asta will never die, but a big kill for Polaris nonetheless.
We see.
I feel like that's just not supposed to happen.
Yeah, I think it's... Has Mavis got a sentry? It does. So as long as they can get rid of this sentry, then his time should be a little bit easier. They've kind of shoved the lane out, which might be an issue. We take a look how mid lane's going at the moment, though, with Lelouch up against Krish. We're kind of unsure of how this lane should shape up, but it does look like both the position 2s are finding their farm. Yeah,
the problem is really going to be how well does Lelouch defend his tower from the Cardi waves, right? Well, that is inevitably going to come here. Timber will be level 5, if not level 6 when that time comes.
I think they might be okay. Lelouch should be able to shove the lane with... He'll probably need an ulti along with Resonant Pulse. But I think you're going to have supports that can easily rotate, and I also think you're going to be in a position where you have to bring the Marcy with that first unleash, and they might be able to get a kill onto Chris. You know, I guess the one thing about mid lane Timber is that you don't have like as many trees to be able to chain to, but with that being said, Radiant, they also don't have a lot of stuns to kind of lock Chris in while Marcy's doing the damage.
That would require Timbersaw having skilled the Timber Chain,
yes,
of course, to be able to use it. He has currently not skilled it. And we are already starting to see the pressure that the Timbersaw puts on.
Oh.
And I'm just a little concerned for this first Cardi wave, the level 6 as well. Krish is going to hit level 6 first as well.
Does look like Xavius may be considering to rotate early on, just to try and protect for the Cardi wave that you are worried about.
And he's going to glyph this, I think. Okay, yeah, there's the glyph.
Lelouch got some 1 charges and Fairy Fire. Maybe looking to bait the Void Spirit at the moment. They're going to be cautious how long until Xavius pokes out. Finally, he's going to reveal his position, but Krish does not give a damn, and
oh, he got him.
He's actually going to charge back in and gets the kill. So Lelouch biting off a little bit more than he can chew.
It was such great timing there from Krish. He gets 6 first, glyphs the wave when the Void Spirit tries to kill it, prevents him from getting that level 6. And now I think they're maybe just... They're not going to get the tower, but it is a lot of space for TNC around the map.
It might get Xavius at least. Yoink, thank you, Carlo. At least he's a support that doesn't mind getting a little bit of gold.
It's a 3v3 in the mid lane now, as everybody's come over.
Why not? At least we're not back at the days with the dual mid. Jesus Christ, that was not fun.
Were you... I was a big fan of, you picked Bane and you would just sit mid and enfeeble the other mid.
Oh,
back when enfeeble, you don't seem to have appreciated that time.
Oh, what do you mean you're a big fan of it? It's like, how are you a fan of this? I don't get.
It's a bit of a sadistic enjoyment, you know. You get pleasure out of making the other player suffer, right?
Oh god. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine you're someone like that. It's just you're kind of giving those vibes right now, and I don't know.
Are you saying that I have a twisted personality? Is that what you're getting at?
Looking to play dual lane mids. No one wants a dual lane mid. Mavis, he might go down as well. Force not playing with the ultimate for the moment. It's gonna have to turn to deal with the bugs. They're gonna jump. Asta is out to the right. In fact, they're gonna go for the Warlock instead. A much easier kill instead of trying to chase down the Weaver.
I was just wondering. Oh, they're gonna hit 6 here. They need to kill 1 creep.
Get the creep! Kill the creep!
1 creep for the unleash.
Oh, they got telekinesis surely. Asta might be in trouble actually. He'll get the no way. No. Oh no, he got the level 6 off the kill. Asta.
I think they literally needed 1 creep on Force to get that unleash, but instead Asta gets the kill and then the level 6 off of it.
Bottom lane.
I was just wondering on what build
he's pretty goddamn deep here. See if it's gonna be enough. Strength treads. One more right click. Wait, Natsumi's running in. Natsumi. Oh no, probably just expecting the Timber to wrap from mid and try and get the kill, but now they could chase down AU. Blast is going to be off the mark, and it looks like the Enchantress will step out of harm's way.
Mid lane Krish is just relentlessly harassing Lelouch here with that arcane rune, and mid tower is not long for this world. It's gonna die here pretty soon, but
that's for all the times you.
Nor is AU
solo kill.
Yes, it was in the jungle.
That was just a solo kill. So TNC, their lanes. We talked about it that we like their lane setup in the draft. They're looking really good right now out of this out of these lanes. Nearly a 2k gold lead already.
They've also got a pretty farmed position for Tiny. Carlo's actually gone phase boots, which is a bit interesting. Yeah. Egos are.
I feel like most of the time you want to go like either Soul Ring Tranks or just Arcane Boots, because he does not have a lot of mana regen.
Bottom lane, Carlo, if he can get the combo. Lelouch actually going to jump on a Carlo instead. The reinforcements are starting to arrive. Force with the unleash, and look at the damage. There we go. That's what they were requiring to deal with Krish. And now they can catch up to Carlo, as well as every single member from Polaris is forced to show up down bottom.
And Chris just thought he was maybe a little bit tankier than he actually was. But great play from Polaris. They bring the whole squad down there to kill Timbersaw.
Tower is under attack.
Really big. That's the big tempo maker for TNC right now, is that Timbersaw.
To the narrow maze with you.
And they've shown they have the capability to kill him. This is with the hood as well, so his next really big spike, I guess, to be able to keep him alive is Sunj, and then Sunj and Kyra, of course, afterwards as well. And I think, yeah, but until then, they will definitely be able to get the kill if Unleash is available.
Yeah, and you said it, that Marcy, the rotation from Force, on top of the damage from the Razor, just too much magic damage. And they actually get the bottom tier 1 for it, so some nice influx of gold to all of Polaris.
A golden thread.
It's also Lelouch has been able to shove out top as well. So the Void Spirit didn't have a horrible lane, but it's just nice for him to get a little bit of free farm and put some pressure onto the tower. I wouldn't mind seeing them bring some extra heroes, but I guess the issue is hold that thought. AU, can they get the avalanche? No, just a bit too far away from Carlo. I do kind of feel like the issue for Polaris at the moment is just because they TP'd so many heroes down bottom, they can't really make a play with the scrolls being on cooldown.
Yeah, but they do make the most of it, right? They get that tier 1 bottom, and now they kind of just spread the map out. I really like what Lelouch is doing up here. He's just kind of cutting this top wave, being a nuisance to Asta, making him defend his tower defensively. It's not what Weaver wants to be doing, but they're going to smoke on the bottom.
I don't know.
This just seems forced. The Though look at the Bach. We said the priority on the core coddle this game, right? He has the full vessel flying out.
It's a big item. It's a very big item. BKBs aren't going to come out too early. There's a lot of burst potential here. And Razor, of course, Natsumi's off the back of those kills down bottom has had a pretty good time, 3, 1, and 2. So he's already got one component and also enough gold for the second component.
Illusion.
Yeah, it felt like TNC had the potential to run away with the game out of their lanes, but Polaris has done a great job of just stabilizing the game state now, defending bottom, taking the top tower. They're even pressuring mid. The benefit of having the Enchantress, you can just poke away at that mid tier 1.
They are still playing with force down bottom. They're kind of positioning like they're going to look to mount a defense. They will not be able to scout out force, though.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower.
Dude, look at Xavius go. Really nicely done for the Rubik. This Sakuchi is an incredible ability to steal.
And you are going to start seeing why he wanted Rubik. He's going to get a courier. And the big nuisance this game is, how do they catch him?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There's not a lot of ways to catch this Rubik. With the stolen Sakuchi right now, he's going to get the next wave too, because, you know, why not?
Yeah, you're really just looking for the blink to come out from Carlo, but Phase Boots is going to delay that. They haven't been able to get any kills recently as well, so it's slowing down his progression to that big item. And it is kind of an issue that we saw from TNC in Game 1, that they put a lot of emphasis on just Krish being that only person to start fights, and without the blink, it's going to be a similar case here in the second game.
If anything, you'd argue it's going to be harder, right? Because last game, at least, Krish had core farm priority. This time, Carlo, he's really the only way to start fights, and he's playing the POS 4 this time. It's just not the ideal position.
They see Bok alone. Xavius might be able to telekinesis him closer to the team. The Rock's going to get drop tower from TNC, so they do have ways to be able to hit back, and it looks like they just want to get out. A nice call from Polaris is a bit too deep of an attempt, and they don't have their items just yet, with the BKB still not completed on Natsumi. I'll look to try and retreat away from the area, and they should be fast enough, although Bok is hunting with the potential for the solar bind. They've got the Weaver wrapping all the way on the back line as well, so TNC, really nice positioning coming up from Asta, is going to be able to block in force, but the threat of the static link is going to be enough to push Asta away from this attempt.
And while this is happening, Lelouch is like, I'm going to go take your tower.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Seeing kind of the lack of stuns be a big issue for TNC. Weaver, so the Rubik is shoving the lanes. You mentioned Lelouch is doing a really good job just cutting the lanes as well. So it's a nice read from Polaris and what they're requiring to do in this game to kind of bring it back to an even slate.
Yeah, and they very correctly identified that TNC don't have great ways to kill their heroes. Just abuse your mobility, abuse your wave clear. And they haven't gotten many kills, but they've pretty much entirely brought it back, though.
Lane? Should be alright. Yeah, it's scary.
A little closer than you might want.
Yeah, I wonder what they're thinking about in regards to the item build, because Coddle has an ATOS queued up at the moment. I wonder if another game he might be considering about if it would have been better to go down like an Orchid route to maybe help off with their kind of lack of control. Because we are seeing the Spirit Vessels not doing a lot.
Absolutely.
Mid lane, Natsumi and Lelouch. Onto Mavis. They're going to have Force nearby as well, so Krish might be in a bit of trouble. Force going to look to jump on forward. Carlo's going to hold him back with the Avalanche for the moment, so they're not getting too much damage out of the Marcy on the Timber Sword, but Force, it just turns to deal with the second support. An easy kill in, and now Asta's vulnerable to the burst, but gets the Sakuchi down to the south. See if they can turn it around though on TNC. Don't have the ultimate or the health pool. Asta playing with fire. The strength thread's enough to keep him alive for the moment. And Krish senses an opportunity to be able to pounce on forward, getting rid of Xavius. Meanwhile, we do have a couple of supports expending their lives throughout that engagement.
A couple of supports and then Force, who It feels like he will quickly be becoming a support with how little farm he's getting on the map. But great fight from TNC. They just very properly fight around their Timbersaw, fight around their Coddle. And that is the one thing about this core Coddle that you can't forget about, is just how much sustain that Illuminate with the Spirit Form provide.
And it's... Maybe Lelouch can get up to the Coddle, but who else can really also jump Bok? You know, Natsumi might consider like a Blink Dagger as the game goes later. You're not going to have a Marcy who's incredibly farmed to feel comfortable with being able to jump to the backline as well, so it's not going to be an easy game to kill Bok.
No.
All of the jump onto Mavis. Well, at least they're going to be able to find one kill onto the Warlock.
It does make you understand Lelouch's item build, though, a little more, right? He's pretty much all of their setup on this Void Spirit. He goes for the Yules, so he can very aggressively set up on these supports or these cores. Force? Down bottom.
Uh-oh, it's a big kill. A little bit of injection of gold into Carlo. They might not be able to catch up to him, and Force is actually going to look to turn it back around. Xavier shows up to the party with the Stolen Chakram. That's plenty of damage. And what's the call now from Polaris? She did bring multiple heroes down bottom. Do you feel like they could maybe shove this lane out and then look for a smoke play?
Potentially. The problem is, like you said, you don't have that Unleash. So while he finished his BKB on Force, feels like you probably need his ulti to actually do enough damage to find kills.
Dire are scanning.
But I don't think Polaris are too upset with the map, right? They got a kill. But, okay, well, you know better than me. They're just going to smoke up here. Who are they looking for is the question.
And it's a hard kill onto Chris.
It does not feel like the primary target.
Scanning.
Not at all. It's definitely Warlock Coddle. Number one priority. Those heroes gotta die.
So this timing for Polaris is very scary. BKB on Natsumi, BKB on Marcy. Arcane Rune on Lelouch as well. So he's gonna have
lane
a lot of
Natsumi.
spells.
Pops a BKB to actually get the kill onto Mavis. So
Mavis is just kind of dying for the team once again.
Punching
Happened a
bag.
lot last game. He's just the community punching bag.
community punching bag. Oh no, hate to see it for poor old Mavis. They're setting up on both the side lanes. Radiant are trying to get some kills down bottom. Dire also setting up top as well, but it's going to be Radiant that jumps first. It's Carlo, an easy kill. Force and Lelouch in combination together. Should be an easy kill. It's going to continue to slow down this blink timing. 2,000 gold. He's so goddamn close to this item, but...
Oh my god.
He's going to make him work for it at least.
This is a merry-go-round right now.
Dude, there's zero... Alright, they got the corridor to at least scout out if he goes for any crazy plays, and finally Lelouch gets him.
No.
And they did finally track down AU as well. It was just the battle of the can't-kill supports.
What is AU actually going on the Enchantress? Holy Locket, okay. Wasn't sure.
So yeah, he's finished up that Holy Locket. But, the Holy Locket's just not as effective this game already just because of the early Spirit Vessel from Bach. It definitely doesn't feel like AU is this unkillable monster that Enchantress is sometimes.
Yeah, especially not into the Timbersaw. I mean, this hero is just going to be ripping you apart. Top lane.
Ados.
Nice blink away.
He's so farmed on Xavius.
That's
He just has Aether Blink already at 21 minutes.
It's kind of the power of playing into the heroes that he is. Just so many great abilities to steal to help him shove side lanes and maybe even farm the jungle as well. Look at this. One blast, double horsey action, and easily
hunting.
clears the wave. And alright, Lelouch, they're able to run into the Coddle. This is a gigantic kill if they can bring down Bok. Maybe the damage is lacking to Lelouch. He's able to step back into the action. So they'll secure the kill to the Coddle, but the turnaround has arrived. Mavis dropping the rock, the control still proving to be an issue. They'll chase down Lelouch, but the rest of the party from Polaris have shown up. They're going to try and toss away Natsum, but he's locked onto his target already, as Carlo will not escape the aggression, but they still might not have the answers to Christian Asta. A time lapse down to the south. Asta's going to be protected for the moment, freshening up a little bit in regards to the resources.
There's a heal in 2 seconds on AU.
Power.
And they get force as well.
Alright, well,
Sensing a pattern here.
another great fight for TNC. He didn't have the Eye of the Storm on Natsumi for that fight. So while they got the Coddle jump, there's just not quite enough damage coming out from this Razor to effectively kill TNC's lineup at this point.
Natsumi, he's in big trouble here on the Razor. BKB is still on cooldown for 45 seconds. Natsumi, can you turn this? They're coming down bottom.
Dire's courier has been
Lelouch
killed.
gets a courier.
Kills the courier.
Yeah, so that was a fight where you see Lelouch was super close to the Scepter. You also had the Razor that was really close to Refresher as well. So Polaris is not taking the team fight with these big items. They will catch out Carlo in the river though. So a bit of a freebie for Polaris. But we're seeing that TNC still having a pretty solid game. Asta, again, he's getting a lot of farm here on the Carrier Weaver. 2, 1, and 5. He's got this Lincoln's completed now to be able to protect him. Krish is also doing a ridiculous amount of damage on the Timber. So are you feeling like TNC are really happy with the status quo of this second game?
Yeah, I feel like the Timber and the Weaver feel nearly unkillable with the Lincolns and the BKBs respectively. The BKB promptly used by Krish. I don't think that was what he wanted to be doing with it.
Looks like that was where his soul ring was. But he instantly swapped the soul ring to where the BKB was when he used it.
I do that so many times. You're using an item slot like instinctively all game, and then you swap it, and you immediately fat finger the wrong one.
That's a classic.
And you're like, why? Why did I change this slot?
Yeah. It's a big fight. Big timing here for Polaris with their ultimates. They're going to be able to catch out Xavius before he connects to the team. It's a lot of that damage. Carlo, really nicely done. They wasted the static link on Natsumi. Still going to look to charge on forward, playing with the refresher. Natsumi doesn't have a lot of mana here for the second round of the Eye of the Storm if required, and they're just going to be forced to get out, in fact. Krish can charge on 4 for Lelouch. Doesn't have any ultimate charges to be playing with. Going to be reliant on the 8th, the Remnant, to get a little bit of distance away. And ulti up in a couple of seconds. He might be able to get the TP out if he gets some distance. But TNC will find him in the tree line before that is an opportunity.
The Weaver and Timbersaw are just such big nuisances for Polaris. They don't have a way to lock them down, nor do they have a way to kill them. These defensive items bought up here from the TNC cores.
Dude, what is going on?
He bought the BKB again.
He swapped it again. He's like, alright, that slot's not going to work for me either.
Oh no, Chris. But that will be Aegis to the Weaver. And Asta was already pretty much unkillable in these fights without this Aegis. He can be so aggressive now on the map. And, well, speaking of aggression,
I think we just see, again, that's a fight. You're not playing with the Aghanim Scepter on the Void Spirit. Natsumi didn't have double Eye of the Storm for that fight. I think it was on cooldown prior when he used the Refresher. And the initial static link on Carlo, they're able to break it. And that's really important. You need to be able to soak as much damage as possible. A Razor is a hero that just takes one hero completely out of the fight. And if you're able to disjoint the static link, then it gets rid of kind of that potential to get that instant kill. So I'm going to need to see Polaris be a little bit more clean in these engagements. They're going to make the attempt to get rid of the first life here on Asta, and they won't be able to do so. Let's see if they can set themselves up for round 2. Mavis has got the rock ready to rock and roll with. And there we go. Golem's going to be dropped. A more defensive use just to hold Polaris back at the moment. This is a big win for Radiant.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Looks like they might want to go back in. They have 2 more jumps on Lelouch, and he has 2 resonant
Radiant's
pulses
middle
soon.
tower is under attack.
No rock either.
They're gonna smoke. Be baiting Natsumi in case they're still playing around bottom. Gonna run all the way around though. Krish is in the
And
river.
no Weaver's not here though. Asta is TP'd out.
Lelouch. He gets a jump. BKB is a potential for Krish, but they will not force it.
He's like, never mind, that's not the hero we want. But yeah, you said it. A great fight there for Polaris. They get the Aegis and get out scot-free. And this
Radiant's
Ags
bottom
reveal
tower
is
is
super
under
tough.
attack.
Asta.
Oh, I say that, but his BKB's in his
He's running
backpack.
underneath the vision. Oh, just gets the BKB inside the inventory. He's got to look to turn around now. Maybe Polaris have jumped too far inside the territory. Natsumi soaking away all the damage on Asta, so we won't really be able to take this engagement. They'll turn to Carlo as well. The Tiny is going to be killed off before any abilities have been able to spellcast. And now look at Natsumi, man. Just tearing apart the numbers on TNC. Got to turn to try and catch up the Krish, but the Timber will just make it away. And look at this now, TNC buying back on Carlo, but the catch-up is not there.
So that was so scary there for Asta. His BKB was in his backpack. It was actually on cooldown from the backpack. He almost didn't get it off in time. But still, another great fight for Polaris. And you can really see the mobility advantage that we talked about in some of these fights. The multiple rebounds from the Marcy, the stolen Sakuchis, and then just the raw movement speed from the Razor.
What have we?
They're kind of just running TNC in circles and killing the supports at the start of every fight.
Yeah, because it feels like you're only playing with the Rock and Tiny's combo. If you're unable to kind of get a kill with these abilities, then, like you said, Polaris have free reign of the fight to just be able to play incredibly mobile.
Yeah, I feel like Asta, I want to see him go Gleipnir. I feel like that would help a lot of their issues in this game. He's going to queue up the Scotty for now, but it really just feels like they're suffering from lack of lockdown in some of these engagements.
I guess, yeah. It's like what item? Because I can see the value out of the Scotty this game as well. You're going up against the Razor Core, really nice to be able to kite him through BKB. Yeah. The stats are really nice as well for a Weaver who can have some difficulty of being blown up through a combination.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it's just
Force.
a me watching the game.
A bit of trouble.
BKB.
He's going to be in a position where he has to utilize it defensively. He's got no one to rebound to. Oh,
nice.
Whoa.
Small update, by the way. The
Dire's top tower
Xavius on the
is under
Rubik is
attack.
officially higher net worth than Force on the Marcy.
Oh
So,
boy. I just got a scepter.
just in case we were wondering. Oh yeah, oh my.
Illusion.
Guys, kick your farm. 2, 5, and 9. 126 last hit, so they're going to get AU. Yes, they will.
Hardly a challenge.
He's got more last hits than the Marcy, and only about just under 30 behind as well onto the Void Spirit as well. So, yeah, the Rubik could prove to be a bit of an issue, but it's just a question, can he freely spellcast from Xavius in these fights?
Yeah, and that is part of why I kind of wanted to see the Gleipnir, is because this Rubik with the stolen Sakuchi is being such a nuisance. And now he can keep Sakuchi and steal another spell on top of it. And it would just give them a way to reliably pierce that invis and kill off the Rubik. But like you mentioned, the Scotty value is obviously very nice against the ranged core of the Razor.
This is big for TNC. This ward by the T2 tower mid was able to scout out the smoke. They're going to be
counter smoke, and it's full AC done on the Razor as well for this engagement.
no Enchantress.
Yeah, AU has decided to not participate. He's just gonna ignore everything that's going on.
Asta.
Get his farm on down there.
Able to go on opposite sides. I see Force. He's on the high ground. Oh, that's not where you want to be. Force, that's not a position you want to be playing with. A BKB. Somehow Krish is stuck here as well. Force going to look to TP up, but the Rock's going to be able to cancel that. All eyes now to Natsumi to turn this fight around for Polaris. But a BKB, he didn't use it to TP up. But they don't have stuns with Tiny dead and the Rock on cooldown. He recognized he didn't need the magic immunity to escape.
Crazy blink from Force. He just blinks onto the high ground, and he didn't have a rebound target, so he was unable to get off the high ground. He tries to TP, but a great rock from Mavis prevents the TP.
Now Natsumi, they get the long remnant drag back. Natsumi really doesn't want to use a BKB like this, especially without the refresher. Could give an opportunity for TNC to consider high ground.
Such great patience, just holding that BKB. But it's getting tough for Polaris. It just feels like they're running low on damage in all of these engagements.
Are fortified.
They need some sort of crazy steals, I feel like, from Xavius to actually start doing enough damage in these engagements.
You see kind of the control issues from TNC is soon to be addressed. Krish is going for a Hex as his next item. So this is going to give them another way to be able to start the fights onto heroes that really you want to burst out before the Razor gets a BKB, before the Void Spirit's being able to play with his mobility.
Not just Krish, but Bach also eyeing up that Scythe device as well. So just they definitely know they're lacking in lockdown. Although I say that Bach changes it to an E-Blade, so
More damage.
Yeah, who needs stuns when you can just do more damage, right?
Just blow up heroes. Damage is more fun as well. No one... Your E-Blade looks nice when you get the combo out.
You've clearly never played Shadow Shaman with Octarine in an Arcane.
A lot of control.
It shows. Let me tell you. I can tell.
Asta, really aggressive position, but he's got the BKB to play with and the jump in as well. Natsumi's gone. Not an opportunity with a Hex reveal coming out from Krish and the rest of Polaris. They just got to get out, cut their losses as best as they can. It will be 2 down, but in the end, what a timing for them to jump in with Krish on this Hex.
Such a great reveal on that Scythe device. They smoke into their aggressive, I guess it's a defensive ward, on their high ground here, and they find the best possible target with it, taking down that Razor, and he doesn't have buyback.
Looking like they might lose Force as well. It's in a bit of trouble here. Rebound, it's on cooldown. This is going to be another freebie. Just bleeding kills a Polaris.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Tower is under attack.
And now the tier 3s are under assault. What does Polaris have to stop
middle
this?
Tower has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks
I think you
are
just
under
look to
attack.
give it up. Krish is going to try and get another +1 with Carla. Win the damage. Lelouch just gets the dissimulate off. They're going to guess on the direction it goes with the dissimulate. And well, Krish, he'll catch him on afterwards in front of the fountain. It's TNC. They can now go back to get the objectives.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
They get the barracks, they get the Void Spirit kill, and now they can just collect their rewards in the Roshan pit as well. Now it's a 15k gold lead.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Such a drastic change from game 1. They look like a different team. Asta on this Weaver, I believe, still 100% win rate in the...
They gotta go through the Lincolns. They're able to pop it. The damage is not enough. As soon as the rock comes out, the counter initiation is perfect to hold them back. But Asta playing with fire, man. Time-lapse being on cooldown. Force gets a drag back to Force Love. He needs some damage and it gets it. Force secures the kill. It might come at a cost. Gets a long distance out of the rebound. Meanwhile, Carlo also will TP out. Roshan is up on Polaris. If they can get the lanes out, then they might be able to get Roche.
You have to be so careful of the Marcy still. He doesn't have that much farm as the core, but level 3 Unleash, 5 hits. It's just so much damage with that sidekick damage.
Go!
And right as I was singing Estes praises, he just dies. Oh, I'm sorry. It's my fault.
It's a classic curse. That's a classic one.
Oh. I'm a menace to society.
Can they stop them from roshing? Natsumi no BKB. So that's going to be a big issue here. There is a potential to blow up the Razor.
Oh, this is really scary for Polaris. No BKBs.
Well, they're going to look to fight instead. It's going to scout out instantly. Natsumi charging towards the back line. He's going to be cautious of the toss into the air. He's okay for the moment. The Glimmer can protect him. They're going to turn to deal with Lelouch instead. They use it the last second. Lelouch, he just gets out. Meanwhile, Krish though.
Krish!
They turn it back around. Timber's gone. Aster is up in 20 seconds. Timber's going to buy back as well. Carlo with the jump in. What a combo. Gets the avalanche, but also Polaris. They're looking to hit back. Krish is in trouble for the moment. Timber Chain's not getting enough distance away. Krish, it's going to be a dieback. What is going on? TNC, they're throwing the lead.
Krish, what are you doing?
Wait,
he bought back no BKB.
Wait,
It was on CD from using it.
Wait, as the time lapse under the wall. What? Okay.
Wait.
He respawned, time lapse, went to the triangle, then had to TP out because they were starting to run to him because I saw him on the high ground. What is going on?
Earth is... It looked like TNC had it in the bag. But it's just such great awareness from Polaris. They know there's no Reaver. They kill the Timbersaw. He comes back. And just the smallest overstep there from Krish, and it's a dieback. And now you're at 70 seconds without your Timbersaw.
With the Hex. Carlo's going to be in as well. Xavier's, he should be able to protect him for the moment. They got to be so cautious, man. Because Lelouch wants to pounce. They overplayed their hand. And they should be able to penalize Carlo. Really nice reposition. The 4-staff gets Carlo out of harm's way.
What has this game devolved into? My word.
Healing power.
Gotta get the ward. Here we go.
And they will now pressure the Roshan. Still 40 seconds without Krish. And it does feel like if they don't have that Timber, they don't have enough damage on TNC anymore. They need Krish to be alive in these fights.
I don't know if they can commit. The poke from afar is a bit annoying.
They're gonna. They have double BKB back up on Natsumi. These freaking Cuddle Blast, man.
Timber down for 15.
They're gonna smoke her. They're gonna smoke around.
Asta. Not like this. Maybe this is a big kill if they can get the Warlock. Really good repositioning again. Oh, that is beautiful, TNC. What a counter escape.
I think Force disposed Lelouch. I think he misclicked his misclicked the razor there.
The high ground. Asta's gonna charge in. Lincoln's popped on the static link for the moment. He's in trouble for the moment. They're gonna blow him up. A buyback's available for Natsumi. He's gonna look to rejoin him. Meanwhile, down to the south, they're controlling Lelouch for the moment. The Simulate's gonna be up in a couple of seconds. Where's the Hex to hold him in place? They don't have this capability now with Natsumi back alive. Trying to charge in, dealing as much damage as he possibly can. They're gonna turn towards the Cotter, but again, the 4-staffs, they don't have an answer to this. And Krish, he wants to jump into the middle, targeting down Lelouch. He's run straight to Natsumi. They need to respect the Razor. The damage, it's starting to stack up. Krish is in trouble once again. They're gonna toss him to the top side, but Krish is okay. Just escapes on the Timbersaw, but the rest of TNC, they're on the prowl. They're looking to catch up, but they will not run into the river.
These 4-staffs from TNC are so clutch, but tiny. Oh. Everybody's getting so low in these fights. Xavius, he's actually out of mana, of all things, so he's gonna have to go back to base.
Carlo?
But TNC are the winners of this so far. They got the buyback out of Razor and out of the Marcy. And now Polaris, they're gonna have to try and fight without their BKBs.
I don't think they can. I think we're just gonna see Razor get blown up again. I really would like to see TNC actually smoke.
I don't. Both teams just used like 3 smokes, I feel like, in the span of 20 seconds, but they do have one more.
Roche is falling as well. You got to make a call pretty soon on Polaris. What's the play?
The Hex.
About to jump in. The burst potential. Is it going to be enough? Lelouch makes it away. They're going to turn to try and get rid of Carlo. Let's secure the first blood throughout the team fight. They're going to be cautious though, because Natsumi's in trouble. Asta, he's locked onto his target. They need a way to be able to hold back the Weaver, giving an opportunity for Natsumi to get the magic immunity off, but they're going to continue to chase him down afterwards. That's a dieback on the carry on Polaris, and it's going to be up to the rest of the components on them, the Radiant lineups, to hold this game 2 back, and maybe that can be on Lelouch. He's holding the weight on the team. Lelouch killing off the Timber Source, still going to be in some trouble for the moment. Doesn't have any ultimate charge, and the Hex again. Lelouch, oh my god. He's got the yours telekinesis used defensively. Asa is going up the higher gun, needs the last finishing blow. Can he get Lelouch? This guy, they can't even catch him. Oh my lord, he makes it away, but AU will not be so fortunate.
Wounded to my heart.
Oh, Asta is out for blood. He just wanted the goddamn Void Spirit, but he couldn't get him. So that gives Polaris at least one more chance, most likely. But 60 seconds still. No Razor, no Marcy, and you still have the Aegis on Asta.
Radiant's top tower is under
Catapult
attack.
wave 2, love to see it. No shenanigans gonna come out here for Polaris. This will be another full set of barracks soon to be claimed.
Stolen Illuminate from Xavius. Very annoying. That's because he has the it gives him the spirit version.
Ooh, but the Avalanche stolen. The chain control on the burst, not enough for now. Rubik, ooh, playing with fire. They still get the ATOS. Uh-oh, Xavius.
They're just trying to buy as much time as they can for these last racks. 20 seconds.
Has fallen.
And they still have 3 minutes on the Aegis. How do you kill Asta twice at this point? I feel like I keep asking that and they keep finding ways. So maybe they can come up with another.
Maybe it's every time you ask that question, they find a way.
They just by the grace of Gaben.
This.
We'll smoke again.
Oh, Lelouch. My god, so scary to see them go outside the base into these hexes. They've been so on point. TNC, it's such a... The itemization from them. You know, we were mentioning kind of the lack of control. We saw them go into the hex onto the Timber, then the Cotter went down that route. The 4 staffs as well has just been exceptional. I really think the 4 staffs are kind of the main reason why they're in this position.
Yeah, and the decision for Bach to go back for that.
Xavius, you need every single hero to be able to defend the base. He's got a buyback at least to be able to play with. AU, he's going to be in some trouble as well. He doesn't have a buyback. Lelouch, going to try and force some reactions.
There's the buyback.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But how did they stop their buildings from dying? This Weaver with the triple Geminate attack just shreds them.
Kirsch in. They know that Rubik just brought back. It's a pretty big kill if they're going to be able to find it. Meanwhile, to the backline though, Void Spirit playing with fire, trying to deal with the Warlock, cancelling out the ultimate, but Mavis gets it down before he's killed off, and now with the Death Golem as well. It's not enough to hold Lelouch back, so they will be able to reset
Mavis
inside the base.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant structures.
Davis is back. He has the TPs to the outpost, so 4v4 again. And the stolen Chakram for Xavius with the Illuminate is very annoying.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
As Natsumi tries to deny his barracks.
Radiant's
It's going to be Megas, it looks like. They don't have a way to answer. Asta's like, alright, up a BKB, look to scurry away. Gives Force a tip for good measure as well. Salt in the wounds, and TNC, a 23,000 net worth lead. Gaben says it's a 0% chance that Polaris come back from the Mega Creeps.
And it is certainly feeling that way, as it seems like Polaris have kind of run out of gas in the damage department. They just don't have a way to kill Asta anymore. He finishes up that Gleipnir. The Aegis will come out. What do you buy as your last item? Just Aeon Disc? just so you don't die?
It looks like
Looks like
is
that's
the
what
call.
he's thinking.
Invisibility.
They do have ways to kind of poke the Aeon, though, with the burst, kind of the chip and spam from afar. Can they deal with Megas? I don't know. I'm really intrigued.
Polaris?
Yeah.
I think they can just because of the spells Xavius has right now.
Okay.
He does have the Chakram and Illuminate, two of the better wave clear abilities. As you can see. Pretty much can kill the entire Mega Creep wave by himself. But that's just one lane. They're in through top now.
He's got a goddamn E-blade on the Rubik. Oh my. That's just gonna deal with the buffer buildings just to make sure when those Mega Creeps do get inside the base, it's gonna be difficult for them to deal with. At least get rid of the ward as well. See what the call is gonna be from TNC. It's Natsumi the target you want to try and bring down. Of course, Asta's gonna be the one to poke and force some reactions out.
You thought you had me, didn't you?
So TNC, they just have to find one more fight pretty much to seal this, as they could wait for Roche if they really want to. They do have a 23k gold lead, and it is lose and you go home for TNC, so maybe they opt to be a little safe.
Natsumi is incredibly far outside the base. Incredibly far out. Natsumi, look at the defensive capability. They're going to be able to get him away. Meanwhile, Carlo tosses the Rubik inside. They get the double rock ultimate. Force is going to try and get some revenge onto the Tiny. They don't have the damage, though. Carlo's able to reposition. Force is in trouble for the moment. A blink is going to be stopped in its tracks. They don't have the buybacks. And Natsumi doesn't have the control as well. He's trying to play around with the static link. Gets another BKB up, but it will not matter. Asta, he wants a high five. Instead, he's going to get a kill for good measure. And the game 2 victories. We are going the distance here. And look at Bok. I mean, some old teammates Bok is playing against. And he's getting the last laugh in this second game.
It's always satisfying to beat your old teammates. And he's probably feeling real good about this game. He played a huge part on this offlane coddle to TNC taking this game. And yeah, game 3, baby. We're going all the way. Love to see it.
Let's go. Exactly what you're looking to see. With an incredible tournament that one of these teams will have the opportunity to move over to. Of course, the ESL 1 Malaysia. We already have one C team there to represent, and looking for that second C team. And well, for Polaris and TNC, we get to go the distance here. Game 3 between these two lads. Polaris, they looked really good in game 1. TNC, they had some rocky moments in this second game. But we are seeing still this new roster is able to pull some little tricks out of the hat there. I really feel like this game, though, comes down to the itemization. Just felt like it was incredible. Yeah. The 4 staffs, they had 3 4 staffs to play with. I believe Bok had one as well. And we saw just the Glimmer Cape, the Ghost, all these defensive items, the Hexes as well. Really felt like for TNC, a big reason why they were able to send us to the game 3 was off the back of the itemization. But you know, we're going to see, right? So we're going to see how this one's able to shape up. Of course, we will have a little bit of a break before we have our last game of the night here for this stream, but don't go anywhere. It's a thriller. We're going to find out who will be one of the other teams eliminated from the ESL 1 Malaysia closed qualifiers. We'll see you guys after the break.
So good, hella more fun. Got sweet little it's all mine. My shoe games, class high.
of the night here for the ESLB stream. We've got TNC taking on Polaris, and Brightside, we're going the distance here, and what a better way to be able to send off one of these teams into the further rounds of the lower bracket. I'm actually trying to look right now how the other series is shaping up, because we do have two more going on at the moment. Boom and Talon are tied 1-1 in the upper bracket final, and for Team 1 and SMG, it looks like their game 2 is still going on, and the winner of that series will face the winner of this series as well, so it's going to be very important to find out who takes that.
And yeah, like you mentioned, game 3 for this series. So loser is out of the running. Winner will move on to play the winner of that SMG series. So winner takes all here. As we do see that the Timbersaw has been the hero of the series so far. Banned out first overall by TNC. They just don't want to don't even talk to me about Timber. Just get it out of my face.
Like, Timber who? What's his hero? Nah, we don't want to play him. We don't want to verse him. But we do want to go back for the Tiny. Again, it is something that they're able to flex. And it's also interesting that they're shying away from the Mars here for Chris. They felt like the game 1 performance was enough of a deterrent for them not to go back into it in game 2 and game 3 now.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious on whether Enchantress is just a cursed hero, or if Timbersaw is just that good, or maybe it's a little bit of both. Because right now Enchantress, even in the Talon series, Enchantress just losing all of the games today. So maybe it's just a cursed hero. But Warlock, on the other hand, has looked phenomenal, as Polaris will take up Marcy Warlock, opener.
Yeah, I was, as soon as I saw the Marcy, I'm like, are they going to feel comfortable with going back into the Razor? Because we were really, for the first 3 picks of Polaris, we were very big fans of their draft. Kind of fell a little bit out of control towards the later stages there for them. But they're going to go, like you said, the Warlock looks incredibly solid so far through this series overall. So I don't hate it not revealing too much. I do hope, though, that this Marcy is a support. I don't particularly want to see it played as a core.
Yeah, I would agree. Force did okay, for all things considered. It just felt like their draft was harder to execute at the end of the day.
Radiant team
and TNC, they have the Razor option if they do want it, but wow.
Dire team ban.
They're going to go Terrorblade. So the 8-pick demonic overlord. The overlord? Demonic king? Whatever he is.
Well, I know Ash just got a mean demonic overlord, so he's going to be able to...
5 seconds remaining.
I don't know if he's an overlord or king. I don't know. I was just rolling with it. He's got an incredible Terrorblade.
Not to be confused with the Helm of the Overlord, of course, which is just, a regular item in Dota.
No, we have another Overlord here being the Terrorblade. So, is a scary foe to be able to deal with. TNC picking up in the 8th pick. They're going to be able to utilize this to protect it. Doom banned out, PL banned out. I'm really surprised about the PL getting banned. I think this is a horrible hero at the moment. It has to be literally a perfect Phantom Lancer game, like 5 heroes you play well into and not a lot of counters, and even then, I still feel like sometimes he loses as well. I really like the Zeus ban though. That is I like that one.
They're all dead!
Yeah, PL, he's not in a great spot as a hero, but you do kind of get it. I feel you're early picking your carry.
10
they clearly
remaining.
feel like PL is just the worst carry matchup for the Terrorblade.
Remaining.
So they just take it out. And the great thing about this Terrorblade pick is once you're out of the lane, Marcy Warlock do not do much to your hero. Neither of these heroes really kill illusions. and they're very low magic damage across the board. Like the Warlock Golem, all physical damage. I guess Fatal Bonds is magic, but Terrorblade just doesn't care about either of these heroes really from Polaris.
Radiant team pick.
Do you feel like the Embers may be able to help out a little bit with the weakness that is there at the moment with the Marcian Warlock to deal with the Terrorblade?
Yeah, it definitely is a nice supplement. It's just a more magic chip, so you get that early Maelstrom, you get the BKB, you get the Ags. I just wonder
5 seconds remaining.
what Polaris is setting up for. It feels like they have a lot of nice setup control heroes right now, right? They've got some nice chip damage, some nice jump, some sustain, but they kind of lack that oomph hero, you know, that real damage dealer that's going to carry the game.
Radiant team pick.
Keeper
I know they're going to look
of
to
the
protect this.
light.
Second phase, could have picked up for TNC, so we did see it flex before. I think Bok had a pretty good game. I do, again, think a lot of it came down to itemization, so I wouldn't hate for them to go back into the offlane coddle if they feel content
10
with that.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't
5
have
seconds
that
remaining.
that 24 pick flexibility for TNC, but you still aren't sure where it's going for Polaris. So this could be mid tiny 4 coddle, and they need an offlaner. It could be mid coddle 4 tiny. They need an offlaner. But that does reveal their cards. Actually, no, it doesn't reveal their cards at all. They're just going to pick up the 5 Treant. And
Radiant
we
team
talked a lot about Polaris
Faceless
is
Void.
damage output. It's all pretty chip oriented, right? The Sleight of Fist, the bonds, even Marcy stuff is pretty chip damage oriented. So that living armor in the fights is going to be very nice.
10 seconds
I'm
remaining.
just trying to see. I guess Polaris, they've got the 24th pick, so we don't have to really look at theirs
5
next. But
seconds remaining.
regards to the Faceless Void, it's a pretty decent game from it so far. Gives you a lot of team fight, which seems to be a big advantage that
Radiant
Polaris
team
have at the
back.
moment in regards to their heroes. But the Void, I think there is a potential for him to be blown up. It's going to depend on the Tiny's position and the Coddle's position. I'd like it to be Tiny too, just so you have an early blink, because we did see in last game TNC had some
10
issues with
seconds remaining.
how they were able to start fights before Carlo was able to get like a 20-minute blink.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I kind of agree. At the same time, though, it's a really nice Spirit Vessel game. So part of TNC might be thinking that they want to elevate the Coddle to a core role so they
Dire
get that
team
early
back.
vessel. But the Faceless Void pick's really cool because now you're like, okay, well, TNC, do they want to put this Coddle core? But if they put it off lane, it's a great lane for the Faceless Void. You can backtrack or time walk the damage from the Illuminate, and you can also,
10 seconds
of course,
remaining.
kill him with that time dilation. So it's a really cool
5
Faceless
seconds
Void pick, and
remaining.
it's also really great against the Terrorblade because once you get like 3 or 4 items, you can actually 100 to 0 the Terrorblade with that level 20 talent. It's like 100 attack speed inside Chrono or something. So I really like this Faceless Void pick from Polaris.
See, they're also banning out heroes to kind of protect the Void at the moment. Night Stalker's banned out, maybe looking for another off-lane hero. You've got the
Radiant
potential to
team
run like a
pick.
Beastmaster, and yep, that one's going to be banned out. So we'll see if there's other
Dire team
summon.
I think CK. Oh,
Tied
okay.
onto.
Are you?
Tied on her. Okay, well, big man on campus. The watermelon has arrived.
Can you? If they want to keep the Marcies a 3, I'd really like a Snapfire. I think for damaging
5
Chrono,
seconds remaining.
you can shove out lanes, Cookie nice to reposition, I think, against the Overgrowth. If they don't want that, if they look to keep Marcies a 4, you could consider a Razor still. Raising to TP could be a
I'm
bit
looking
awkward.
at Viper. Oh,
You may now
Alright, there you
select
go.
your heroes.
I mean, you could even try and play it as a core, but I don't think that's going to be the case. And yeah, so Force will be playing the Marcy. I really like this Snapfire pick. I think it's you've got this now combo inside the Chronosphere, gives you a way to enable Roshan if you ever do win a fight. They didn't really have that potential beforehand. Pretty decent lane as well, Marcy Snapfire. If maybe if Asa's ever out of position with meta on cooldown, if Mavis doesn't, if he's also like pulling the creeps or something like that. So I do like this last pick from Polaris.
Yeah, the Snapfire pick's really interesting. You called it. So, some claps for you. Kudos. Why it's so nice is it gives them, obviously, the crazy team fight synergy with Faceless Void, but also just in the lane versus Terrorblade, they have a lot of magic damage now between the Rebound, Dispose, and then the Snapfire nukes. I feel like Asta has to be very, very careful in that lane. And it's very important. A Terrorblade obviously can go jungle, but you don't feel great leaving the lane super early on Asta and giving away the free lane. So, really love the Snapfire pick.
We do also see that the Coddle was flexed to the mid lane. It will be Krish playing it. Something that I have not seen them run through the DPC. So it's going to be interesting to see how Krish is able to kind of diversify his hero pool. I think that was definitely one of the big talking points about him when he was coming up in the scene. He's still an incredibly young position 2 player, but when he was on, I think it was Team D with Ponlo, they were kind of just saying that and when watching his games as well, he was very good on Spirit Heroes, very good on active heroes, but that was kind of all he was able to play. So I'm intrigued to see how he performs on the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, and you do see why they would want the Coddle mid this game, right? The early, we talked about how great the fast Spirit Vessel is going to be this game, specifically against the Faceless Void, just mitigating that time walk potential coming out from Natsumi.
Force?
But they're gonna find he's out. Nothing to be worried about.
I like that move a lot, though. I'm kind of surprised Xavius didn't even go for a Quelling Blade to help Force with trying to kill the trees. We see often, though, that both sides will 5-man down to the Tree Protector's lane just to secure the trees getting cut in case the enemy team tries to protect it as well. So I like that read from TNC. This is really going to enable them early on.
Transcends expectation.
And Mavis is kind of the X factor of that bot lane. If he can kind of take great trades and make space for Terrorblade, it's going to bode really well for TNC's mid to late game if Asta can get off to a good start.
The battle begins.
Carlo wins the click battle.
Easy.
I feel like you always
that.
have to tip them after you. Yeah, I feel like you have to tip them after you win the tip battles.
100%. You gotta let them know that not only did you get the bounty, and you got the better reactions or faster clicks per minute, you got to show the alpha move as well. You're like, all right, I got 3 tips this game. I'm going to maybe not waste one. I'm going to use it early. It's okay. I'll use it early, show who's boss.
Yeah, so we didn't talk much about this Tidehunter, but in the lane versus the Faceless Void, nothing Natsumi can really do to Bach.
Is under attack.
Once Bach has level 3 or 4, I don't think they can ever really kill this Tidehunter. So really, really cool hero or cool pickup. You don't see this hero much, but you definitely do kind of see the reasoning for it in this game.
Do you feel like it's nice though, because Natsumi should just be able to get a decent amount of farm in this lane? Is that kind of one thing that you can also look at in regards to Polaris?
I feel like the Tidehunter will naturally outfarm the Faceless Void, though. If you're ever just 1-to-1 contesting CS, the Anchor Smash bonus damage, or damage reduction, makes it really difficult for Natsumi to CS in lane. So, whenever these lanes start to devolve a little bit, and you have these 1v1 core matchups, the Tide's going to be really happy.
You do swing down to bottom lane as well. They're starting to get rid of some of the trees. Mavis has the level 2. Asta just picked up his 2 as well, so... Probably what the next round of spellers are going to look to get aggressive with the first use of the meta.
Yeah, and it's really... This Treant pick is so cool because it's making it hard for Polaris to be aggressive. But Polaris is like... They're the team that wants to be aggressive with their hero selection, so... They're kind of just mitigating what Force and Xavius want to be doing, though I say that...
Force? I don't know if you want to be fighting Asta at this stage.
Completely fine. never a doubt in our minds. They do survive the meta, but again, I mean, Asta is off to a very nice start. 12-5 compared to the 6-2 of Force.
Dire's top tower
just winning that CS battle by a decent margin, though I say that...
Might be able to get the kill. Asta trying to turn around with Mavis, but the leech shield sustain is not enough to be able to keep the Terrorblade alive, so you gotta stop speaking. The amount of caster curse that's going on from you. Oh my lord.
Last game, this game, I told you I'm a menace. I can't control myself.
Alright, Asta's like, come on man, I'm having an incredible lane. All of a sudden they're just jumping again. He's gonna be vulnerable. They just hit level 3. They're gonna jump instantly on this opportunity. It's a lot of damage getting ramped up here with the level, but force the cookie out. Xavius is in trouble as well, but they will not be able to catch up. A little bit of a mis-execution. Felt like they were kind of on the same page, but TNC, they were just able to react thanks to the Treant Protector.
Yeah, just not quite enough burst damage there to actually threaten Asta. And Mavis actually hitting level 3, very important as well. He gets the level 2 Leech Seed, so that extra bit of sustain and damage. Very, very noteworthy in this bot lane.
Haven't had...
What is going on?
Yeah, that's where I'm looking to see what's going on for Lelouch. Unfortunately, he's going to lose his creeps, but we'll be able to TP back. Lelouch is looking decent at the moment. 25-1 to Krish, but 23-13 onto the Ember Spirit, so a lot of delays.
So Lelouch glyphs that mid wave, it looks like, just to make sure he gets all of these creeps. Although, Krish. And this is what's really nice about the Ember Spirit pick this game. And also part of what... Oh, I said, hold on. Asta, bottom.
Force is stuck in the grass.
That goes down.
Yeah, look at the damage that Mavis is doing, man. This is really difficult for them to be able to combat into the Treant Protector.
That level 2 Leech Seed is so punishing early.
Shoot out!
We should just stop looking away from bottom. That seems to be where all of our action is.
Yeah, so the good thing is that we've kind of... We've tabbed over to mid, so we've seen some crazy shenanigans of Lelouch just pulling the wave, and now we can just continue with the action down bottom as Xavius might go down. Some stick charges to play with and will require it.
Yeah, the crazy shenanigans Lelouch was doing, I guess he's just trying to be as efficient as possible. And you're pretty much at the point where you can't do much to the coddle, so you just want to try and get as farmed as you can. As you can see, Krish is just going to clear these small camps pretty much at the speed of light. Very interesting that Lelouch does not go for the Flame Guard, by the way. Max Slight Chains. They're going to get the toss back here.
They're going to look to turn it. Oh. Even AU's rotated. Carlo. They do get the chains as well. So 2 supports rotating to the mid lane here from Polaris. And they won't even secure the rune.
Treant.
This
Treant hits for 200 damage. Look out, Xavius.
He's going to kill Xavius. Cookie's back up, actually.
That is a scary tree.
Give it.
He's not looking so friendly. Looks can be deceiving. He's got the happy tree set, but look out.
What's going on? Why is there a tip from Asta? Something's going on in the comms right now. Block saying, he's having a pretty good lane versus Natsumi. Net worth actually even between the two.
You can see once Natsume gets anchor smashed, Natsume is an actual wet noodle. So nothing to be done against this Tidehunter. And you see the skill build. He's actually skipping Ravage. Just max anchor smash, max crack and shell.
I don't even think you're killing him with an Ember rotation. Maybe the minus armor is going to be enough. Has he got Orb coming out, actually? No, I don't even think they're killing him with the Ember rotation. I think it's Snapfire ulti, probably.
Yeah, I think you need Chrono and Kisses to kill him. Which is, of course, a difficult decision to make. Like, do you use it on the Tidehunter, or do you use it on a different hero, like the Terrorblade or the Coddle? And TNC, I feel like, are really happy, because they're going to force Polaris into these weird decisions.
It's, because they're not really slowing down the Keeper of the Light. And in fact, they might be able to get a kill as well down bottom. Xavius will go down by the secret shot. Force going to try and deal with the creeps so they can't get too much damage onto the tower with the metal. They do have another wave soon to connect. Meanwhile, inside the river, you see Chris, there's just nothing they can do. This goddamn Keeper of the Light, he's already got a boot to travel as well, so he's going to be able to get pretty active shortly.
Radiant structures.
These lanes are just going so well for TNC. It's a 2k gold lead at 8 minutes. And they're going to get this bottom tier 1, I think, as well. Off of this meta usage. No deny either. So this is like, these are like the best possible lanes you could have imagined for TNC right now. Everything is going their way, right? It seems.
Is under attack.
And it's going to be concerned because I don't think the Ember really has supports to play with. Like, Warlock is not going to be rotating. They run into Asta. Let's see, you don't have Mortimer Kisses. Asta has a level in the Sunder as well, so it might catch Lelouch off guard. Sentra's going to be dropped, but the control is something that's lacking till Carlo's going to be able to step in, but they will miss out on the toss. So Chris unable to provide the burst, so they do force a lot of reactions down to bottom, however.
And they just don't have the damage to kill this Terrorblade. He's got the level 2 living armor with the 21 charges and the treads. And the Sunder. So a lot of early tools to enable Asta to survive right now. And the question's really just, what does Polaris do? They don't, you said it best, right? They don't have very active heroes.
I think it's going to be a Chrono into Kisses and hopefully an objective out of it. I don't think you want to use that to defend top. Because you need to open up the map. If you can get the bottom tower, it gets a little bit more jungle action going, maybe an extra wave that you can find. I like what Lelouch is doing. So just being a nuisance. They know they can't really defend the tower head on, so they're just going to try and cut the wave and do whatever they can to slow them down.
But at the same time, with how spread TNC is on the map right now, if they go for a chrono play, they're getting 1 kill, 2 at max. Is that going to be enough to open up the map? It doesn't really seem like it right now, as Ash is going to TP out of bottom. So you're really starting to see the problems that TNC are posing right now with just how well these lanes went.
I think this is... You have to get this tower now down bottom with the catapult. If they don't use this timing... No, they can't. There's no way they can. So this is really hard now for Polaris, because you're going to have to wait another 5 minutes for the next catapult, and... Well, there is no way they get the tower beforehand, because they don't have a hero that's going to be able to push. So this map is going to continue to shrink. Jesus Christ, Force?
Oh my.
He might still go down.
Is he dead?
Top lane, they got a Ravage out as well into the tier 2 tower, but Bok kills off the Ember Spirit. So the first Ravage of the game, and Bok is going to claim the gold for that. This is really looking bad for Polaris.
Yeah, not only do Polaris have very passive heroes, but they don't have any tower damage. So this Treant Protector is just, he is in heaven right now. He's like, I get to say all of my towers. Happy tree, happy tree. Bob Ross, embracing his inner Bob Ross, really.
He's cruising down bottom. He's level 6. Get whatever the farm he wants. You got Krish that can come down here and defend the lane. Might even look to Overgrowth Force, but they really do want some earn charges. That's kind of the big thing we're looking at for TNC. Natsumi, they've got the ultimate on Force. They will not require the Chronosphere to hold Mavis, and in fact, Force doesn't even need to use the Unleash. In fact, he will to dispel off the Overgrowth. So there you go. But it's not... You're down 3,000 gold, you get the kill, Natsumi gets the Maelstrom as well, so this is at least his now farming accelerant completed.
Yeah, Polaris are doing okay. They're just in a tough position where it feels like if they use too many of their ultimates, they're just going to get completely stuck on the map, right? So you kind of have to save some of these
Radiant's bottom tower
just in
is under
case
attack.
TNC try to be aggressive.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bottom's still not going to fall, though.
Force? Have they got Overgrowth? No, they already used it on Mavis, okay. So we did just address the fact that Natsumi's picked up his farming accelerant, but I'm just concerned that it's going to take way too long for him to find enough farm, and I think also the cores are not going to be able to keep up. Because Marcy needs kills. You're not going to win in a farming game if you're a Marcy, and kind of the Ember Spirit not going maxed out Flame Guard is also going to prove to be an issue with him being able to find the couple of items through the mid-game.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you're playing a farming battle against
Natsumi? Oh, this is a really good rotation. Okay.
Great
Chrono and
find.
Kisses. Beautiful smoke coming out from Polaris.
Middle tower is under attack.
They had this sneaky high ground ward that was planted like 5 minutes ago by AU. And they catch him at the very tail end of that ward's duration. First chrono of the game. That is like the best hero to find for sure.
And it's meta on cooldown as well, so it's not like they can kind of walk down mid and try and get this T1 tower.
No, I mean, we talked about Polaris not having tower damage. TNC don't really either, outside of the meta, which is on cooldown. Asta doesn't really want to use it to push right now. So their best option is just to put the Tidehunter here, which I guess is pretty effective. He's just kind of sitting here under the tower.
He looks so unkillable right now. He looks so unkillable.
Radiant's
Oh my.
bottom tower is under attack.
He's literally just... they can't touch him with that living armor on him.
Oh, there we go. Overgrowth. Should be able to fall up with the Ravage. They're going to need the Avalanche Toss as well. AU's going to try and hold them back, but the chain control from TNT is perfect to be able to secure 2 kills behind the tier 1 tower.
Dire's middle tower
Near
is under
flawless
attack.
stun locking there, and then the coddle damage on top. And you said it, needed some earn charges, so now 2 vessel charges for Chris. So he's ready to get the ball rolling as well.
Bottom lane, they're even looking for another kill. Force, he went in for the
Doesn't have
rebound.
rebound. Oh, nice.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay, he keeps his life. I think, again, every Unleash needs to be used for a kill. Regardless of whatever game you're in, when you're playing this Core Master, you've got to get kills with Unleash, but especially this game with how far behind you are, because you don't have a lot of map to be able to farm.
Yeah, at the same time, though, like, who is he really killing right now with how the game is progressing? Oh, the kisses?
Asta?
They're just...
Are they going to be enough? Just gets out of range, okay. Force, he'll also TP out as well. Meanwhile, top lane, they are setting up on Carlo. You'll take whatever kill you can get at this stage in the game, but Carlo's going to make him work for it.
Not the most kill-oriented heroes here. A Void without Chrono and a Warlock without Rock.
It's a beautiful 1-2 punch. What are you speaking about? You haven't seen this combo? Oh, come on. You're missing out.
The upheaval damage, that's what we're really waiting for, right? We just need that damage to kick in.
Capo. Xavius. They're even going to overgrowth for the Snapfire.
A bit rash.
Alright, well, you get the kill nonetheless.
Why not? Free kill. Gets the vessel charges back that he used. And the map just feels to be shrinking. for Polaris. Their bottom lane is
Radiant's middle
constantly
tower
pushed
is
in.
under attack.
Their mid lane's going to be pushed in as well.
They got the blink reveal on Carlo
what
mid.
plays?
Lelouch's got to be pretty cautious. They should be able to get the kill with Krish. He's had that flame guard active. They were trying to catch out, I think, his remnant location, but Mavis and Buck a little bit too late to follow up. We do see though, like, Natsumi's getting farm, man. This hero's keeping on par with the Terrorblade's net worth.
Unfortunately, it's just him. Everybody else, all of the other cores on his team are starting to fall behind Carlo.
Oh, well, that's a freebie. Hey, what are you talking smack about the Warlock Faceless Void? Look at him go, mid lane Buck. A Ravage clipping onto 3, but where's the rest of TNC to be able to follow up? They're going to toss Buck back. This is a really big kill if they can find it. Buck is incredibly farmed at this stage of the game, but the Mortimer Kisses getting dropped. They'll have the damage this time to get the kill. Polaris. Some nice sequence of events occurring for the Dire lineup, and they're even going to be able to chase down Mavis. 3 kills going the way of Dire, potentially even a tier 1 tower as well.
Fantastic punish here from Polaris. They just find Bach a little bit too far this time. It does cost them the kisses, but well worth the cost. As they even find the gimme free kill as well, the secondary kill on the treant. And the big thing is that they did not have to use Chrono. So they found a big core kill without having to expend Chronosphere. Huge win for Polaris.
Mm-hmm. And the Ravage is on cooldown as well. So you could definitely look to take a fight. You've got a bit of a window where Mortimer Kisses is going to be up before the Ravage. I really would not hate to see them maybe go for this double smoke we saw prior with the Faceless Void and the Snapfire. You could even consider a fight. In fact, Natsumi has a BKB, so if you're feeling a bit frisky here, you could make a play.
The question is, do they want to use the Chrono without the kisses? It looks like they want to. They see the real Terrorblade bottom. Xavius, well, he gets found. Does ask to stick around down here.
One more illusion and out. Oh, and that's going to be the kiss.
Very nice gameplay. Suspects that smoke is coming.
Probably.
I mean,
oh, there we go. They're going to move into Roche. All right. Well, Dire have their ultimates. Can they get there though? In time.
The Faceless Void has a TP, so he's showing bottom, but he can TP to this top outpost.
They're going to come. Roche down to half health. Ravage going to be up in a couple seconds as well. They'll have it for the team fight. This is a big target if they can bring down a star. Warlock's going to go down before he gets the ultimate off. He's going to look to buy back to rejoin the fight, but Bach is in with a Ravage. The damage from Asta almost gets the kill to Lelouch, but now with the Chrono turnaround from Natsumi, catching out the Terrorblade, and now he's going to turn to deal with Mavis as well. As Polaris, an opportunity for them to be able to take this team fight as Natsumi on the prowl for another kill. Time walking onto the high ground to deal with Carlos Tiny. There's Polaris. It's a 3-for-3 in the end with a buyback coming up from the Warlock, but they might be able to reap the rewards if they can get Roche.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Great buyback coming out from Mavis. Completely turns that fight with the rock.
Natsumi?
And we saw why they wanted.
No, you are not killing Bach.
Can they kill the watermelon though?
If they can keep them in the river though, they are respawning. And they were out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So the question is, can TNC go back into Roche? Meta is down, Ravage is down. But likewise, right, Polaris expending all of their big ultimates.
They gotta kill
Pretty much
ward.
every single ulti's on CD for the most part.
You gotta get rid of the ward. They have so much vision. They have so much information. Carlo gets the jump. That's a dieback for the Warlock. They will not have him for this Roche fight. It's really going to be up to Lelouch to try and turn this around. A lot of the damage comes out from the Ember now without the Snapfire. They're splitting the fight into half towards the top side. Natsumi and Co. secure another kill. Meanwhile, the Ember's able to get out and freshen up in the resources with a TP back to base. So another nice skirmish for Polaris.
And Lelouch is pushing his hero to the absolute limits, it feels like, in these fights. He's just being so aggressive. And it feels like he knows that TNC do not really have the lockdown to kill him right now. We've seen how he's died in the earlier in the game, right? It's been multiple ultimates committed, but right now all of those ultimates are on cooldown for TNC.
They're gonna get another.
Mavis.
Did he buy back? Yeah, he bought back.
Yeah, that's just a dieback from him. They really wanted this Roshan, but Polaris have punished them so hard for that play.
They have their ultimates up now from Polaris as well, so they are really content with taking a team fight. You also just got the BKB completed on Force. They haven't dealt with this ward still. Scouts out them smoking.
We're pretty much... Xavius is like, guys, there's a ward here. What are we doing? But Natsumi's just gonna walk into the pit. Can TNC take this fight? Chrono, Kisses, Golem, all available for Polaris.
I mean, Warlock and Snap have to be the first to die.
They can.
I would agree.
The big problem is that Asta isn't going BKB, so this BKB or this magic immunity that would prevent the Kisses and the Chrono damage isn't gonna be there. He's going Scotty. We've got like a Mexican standoff outside the pit here.
Oh, I've been here for quite some time. We had 2 rounds of ultimates.
It's a giant battle of chicken. Who's gonna commit first?
And I like this from Lelouch. She's like, all right, if we're just going to play the game. I thought he was going to go for another wave, actually. What I would have preferred just to pressure the tower a little bit more, get closer to that BKB. Because you mentioned he's playing his hero to the absolute limits, and you wouldn't expect anything else from Lelouch. Formerly known as Mac, has one of the best Ember Spirits down in Southeast Asia, is an incredible player on this hero, knows his limits. You mentioned that, and we're seeing that really come into play. So if he can complete this BKB, then it's going to be even more difficult to deal with. But you do have to go into the Eye of Skadi now completed on the Terrorblade. So a little bit more stats to make sure he doesn't get bursted down from the Snapfire ulti. Oh, Blink as well on the Tide. So this is big.
This is such a tense...
Bottom lane?
It feels like whoever...
Natsumi, force out a BKB from Krish. That's a win at its own right now. It makes it really difficult for the Coddle to reposition in this next team fight.
If Lelouch can get to his BKB quick enough, they might be able to punish this, actually. Because right now, the BKB is the only thing saving the Coddle from the Ember Spirit. Now, CD for 60 seconds could be a bit of a window for Polaris should they want to choose to abuse it. I've just been watching Force and Xavius literally sit outside.
He's going to start the fight onto Buck. The Tide Hunter is in a position where it's not going to be a good Ravage, and he might just get away with the Overgrowth. Binds him to time. What is that? He gets the Ravage off onto multiple Heroes of Blue, charging to the middle, but it looks like Asta is too late to follow up with the damage. Terrorblade, he's trying to charge him, but he's going to be a bit too slow. 2 heroes down on TNC. They do get Ast, so they do get Natsumi, though. But at what cost? They lose their Faceless Void. He did not get that BKB up, but they're going to try and force this fight still. Hang on. BKB and Unleashes both on cooldown. Force is just going to sacrifice his own life. And Carlo with the buyback is going to look to rejoin. They'll be able to deal with AU. And now Lelouch with the BKB should secure the kill onto another support from TNC. Oh, of course there's a goddamn DD in front of the pit. Okay, Gaben. Do they have enough? It looks like they will get this Roche. Nothing left in the take here for Polaris. Finally. It looked like Force was... Yeah, finally. It looked like Force was trying to kind of just buy time with his life. Lelouch should be fine. But that not using his BKB there on Natsumi is going to come back to haunt him, maybe.
As he just got caught with his pants down by that Ravage.
Just really thought... that's incredible if you're able to jump the Tide Hunter in the middle and you can kind of bring him down or force out like a one-man Ravage, because he wants to be the one initiating. And if you can play the edge of the fights and then you're going to have the ultimate cooldown. Hold that thought as Natsumi's going to jump into 2. Only gets the Chrono though, as Bok is able to Delta split him. Natsumi, it doesn't have the greatest amount of damage at the moment until Lelouch is able to step in and provide the extra control to make sure Carlo will not escape, but that is, you're fine with that. It's a dieback on Tiny, but it is a Chrono on cooldown, so maybe with the respawn they can look to make a play happen, because you will have meta.
They're going to have a very small window, though, to use it before Chrono. You're going to have like a 50-second window before Chrono, between Tiny respawning and Chrono being back up. So it's I feel like you're probably not going to be able to punish the Chrono CD this time, so pretty smart from Natsumi, right? It feels like, kind of recognizing that he can use it there.
Is he close to another item? I think he just completed the Mjolnir onto Natsumi.
Yeah, full Mjolnir done, so more attack speed, some more magic damage. But the BKB will be coming out from Asta in a couple minutes for him.
Yep. Last item completed for Asta was that Shadow Blade. What are your thoughts on the Shadow Blade here for Asta? Because the break is not going to be incredible once he goes into the Silver's Edge. I guess against the Void it's kind of nice mid lane. They're trying to kill Mr. Bok.
The mobility is very nice though for Terrorblade, and you eventually want to go Silver Edge. So it feels like a very natural item. He's actually, look at this, he's just gonna walk up to Force here. He's like, hey man, what's up?
They got a Hex! Christian's already completed a Hex on the Cardo. Alright.
Speaking of big items, holy.
Radiant's bottom tower
And that's the meta expended, so that's probably going to be the tier 2. And this is the exact window we were talking about.
Nice ward.
No Chrono for another 20 seconds.
Dire's
Tiny has
middle tower is
respawned.
under
Just
attack.
textbook play from TNC.
Dire's middle
See the siege come
tower
out.
has fallen.
Asta's about to hit level 20 as well. Gonna have the
Dire's
ultimate
middle
shortly.
tower is under attack.
But you don't want to use the Chrono on the first life from Asta. You got to deal with the rest of TNC. But if you put yourself in a position, Bok will jump with this Ravage any opportunity he gets.
The problem is if you commit onto this Terrorblade, there's a Blink Ravage
Dude,
waiting.
Carlo, he jumped in. Xavier's reactions were impeccable. He must have just predicted that, honestly. That was a wild blink away from Xavier's. Give him the tip, man. What? Oh, my.
Are they gonna smoke now on Polaris? No meta, but there still is the Aegis on Asta, and they just smoked in.
Yeah.
I think that was scouted by the wave. Not even that ward, just the wave saw it.
I didn't see any pings, but yeah, they were under the wave, so they're not playing like they're aware of this, though.
Not playing.
You don't want to kill Asta.
Krish forced to BKB.
He's been a bit trigger happy this series so far.
Hey, that's true. Even in the Timber game, he's a little, maybe he needs to swap the slot again. Yeah, maybe that was a misclick. They will just back out here, so Aegis will probably despawn without any incident. You can see the razor thin margin that Polaris have in these fights. They need the perfect Chrono, the perfect kisses to find these core kills.
Kind of again seeing the issue with the scaling for the Marcy as well. Whereas you take a look at the position 2 coming from Coddle. I know it's a different role, but when Krish is having 7-0 and 3s, KDA is not saying it's too quiet, but it's definitely felt like the impact it's been elsewhere, but it is really starting to rack up the items, and this Hex is going to prove to be an issue. I've been impressed with his performance so far. I think especially his positioning, though, because the Coddle, of course, you move incredibly fast, but I do have some ways to get onto him.
It's so tough.
They just double smoked.
If Coddle gets... they're on vision. Oh, they're going to find that...
Get out.
Get out of here.
Force.
Not safe.
Oh, we didn't get the blink. He didn't blink away. He has an opportunity for the BKB. Force actually feeling like they can turn it back around. Radiant, let's see if they can jump in with the counter initiation. Bok's gonna turn with the Ravage, but the damage, it's not there. No one else follows up with the Tide Hunter. There's a great start if you're going to be Polaris. You know they're not playing with the age's advantage as Lelouch stalking his prey. Gonna catch out some stragglers. He's gonna go for the support instead. Mavis the target. 2 supports down on TNC. Really nicely done from Polaris. They might be able to get another. The Aghanim Scepter completed from Lelouch. Able to catch out Bok by the secret shot. Activates the Aeon Disc, but no one is nearby to turn this around. They're gonna get a 3rd kill for free. Polaris, a beautiful team fight from them.
And just such beautiful positioning. Bok felt like he had to go in and blink Ravage to protect from the initiation of Polaris, but there was just zero follow-up. And Polaris, it feels very similar to kind of what happened in Game 2 at times, where they are just kiting and kiting and kiting, but they're finding the supports along the way. Both Carlo and Mavis are kind of just being hunted relentlessly in this game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top
that's pretty
tower
much the
is under
entire gold
attack.
lead. It was a
Radiant's
6k gold lead for
structures are
TNC.
fortified.
Some great patience from Polaris to wait out that Aegis, and now they get a fantastic fight as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's
They're gonna get the T2 tower. So Glyph forced out. No defense. I think one issue at the moment is I think Radiant need to play these fights as a counter. They need to counter initiate. I don't think Tide can be the first one to jump because they don't have the damage to follow up. Like TB, he might be in a position shortly to go like Swift Blink just so he can jump in and be able to provide the damage inside the Ravage or even inside the Overgrowth that they have.
Chris!
Dude, Natsumi, yeah, why not? Drop the chrono. Try and catch out Krish, so it'll be first death of the game for the Keeper of the Light. I was singing his praises before.
1,300 gold.
Ooh, that's a lot. They got the net worth lead now, Polaris. Hey,
Just
have
like
all
that.
momentum.
You're saying that you think that
Hang on.
TNC need to play
Asta. It's going to try and play with the meta. Bok's going to jump in, but the Ravage is still on cooldown for the moment, so the control's going to be a big issue. Not until Mavis flies into the river with the Overgrowth. They're able to kill off the Marzi, but Asta's still in trouble. He needs a Sunder target. Forced to turn to try and get the health back over towards Bok, but Natsumi still hunting. They don't have the detection, so they won't get the Terrorblade, but they'll take every single other hero that they can possibly find.
Radiant's middle tower is
And
under
TNC
attack.
are starting to run into this problem of they just simply, it doesn't feel like they have enough damage inside of their stuns, right? It's just terrible at doing the damage right now. But their stuns
Radiant's middle
are
tower
pretty
is under attack.
lackluster. It feels weird to say, right? They have Ravage Overgrowth. But it feels like these
Radiant's
BKBs
middle
and the
tower
Faceless
is
Void from Natsumi are just a little bit too tanky. The BKBs are too tanky. The heroes from Polaris are too tanky.
Yeah, I really felt like the point I was trying to bring up before that fight was like they couldn't follow up with the Tide jump in, but that team fight was different. Like Terrorblade was in the middle of the fight. It wasn't the greatest Ravage. I mean, it was a decent Overgrowth. I'm not sure if Asta was getting controlled while those ultimates were being utilized. Maybe that's an issue. He's going to be going Satanic next, but do you feel like... I mean, he's already got Silver's Edge, so you can't go like Daedalus.
It's a tough position for sure. I mean, you're
who
pretty
they
much
called
saying
out?
Carlo, he's caught
Marcy?
again.
Natsumi's going to be able to follow up as well, with the Chronosphere being on cooldown for the moment, but they won't need the ultimate to be able to combat the Tiny. TNC, they're swarming to the area. They're going to be cautious though. Polaris have control of the jungle. They're looking to reset. But do they double back here on Polaris? The
Asta.
Overgrowth, what a beautiful way for Mavis to hold them in, but Asta is too far away! The corner comes back off cooldown, but Natsumi, the damage is not there! The blinding light, the toss away into the Sunder! As TNC, they bide their time, they wait to protect Asta, he gets the perfect Sunder off, and now without Natsumi, Roche is for the taking, the Warlock is for the taking as well, as TNC They are back into this game. One lost fight, but they instantly turn that into their favor. As they're also hunting Zavis. Look at Bok and Chris go. No one else is soon to escape. But the Aeon Disc from Zavis is enough to buy him some time to get back to the fountain.
Dire's middle barracks are
What
under
an
attack.
obscene toss from Carlo. He buys back into the fight, finds the picture-perfect toss on the corner of the
Middle barracks.
Chrono, so Asta can get his Sunder off, and now all of a sudden your base is under duress. The meta was not used for that fight.
Is under attack.
Polaris, no Chrono, no Rock is up, I guess, but no Kisses. What do you have left?
Carlo's in. They're going to look to try and get rid of the Warlock, which is a lot of their team fight. He's down 100 seconds. Can't use the Buns. Can't use the Rock.
Ravage is back online as well for Bach. So Polaris have to be very careful.
They're in. They're going to try and pull up the Terror
But they're
Blades.
just gonna
Ravage
go.
is going to be able to buy him enough time. Asta! He doesn't get the Sunder off, so they kill off the position 1 onto TNC, and they're looking to catch out some more numbers. But a quick TP out will keep them alive for the moment. That's a heavy investment, though, from Polaris. A buyback coming out of Natsumi. This is a must-get Roshan now for the carry on Dire.
Roshan. TNC, they do have buyback on both of these cores, but neither of them have their big spells. No Ravage, no Meta. So Polaris, I think they're gonna get away with the Roshan, and that's gonna make this buyback on Natsumi absolutely worth it.
Oh boy. Full set of barracks
What
mid.
on earth?
That's a crazy game we got here.
You've been talking a lot about how you don't love the Marcy 3, but Force in this game feels like he has found a support to kill at the start, almost at the beginning of every fight. He's just instantly BKB killing either Carlo or Mavis. And once again in that fight, he just blink BKBs on top of the Terrorblade. And now that he has the Basher, it is very scary.
It's also you've got the Ember to worry about as well. The Loose with the Scepter into Refresher next, playing with the Quickening Charm. You love to see that for the Ember Spirit, but he's also proving to be a really big issues for the supports and how they can position.
Absolutely. I mean, he's pretty much impossible to deal with. BKB Lincoln's Ags. How on earth did TNC lock this guy down?
This is a huge ward that Dire are going to be playing with, surely. This ward in the jungle that's scouting out Bok and Asta's position. They've got another minute 30 of it left. I'd love to see them try and take a fight.
So sneaky. How close is that to the sentry? Oh my gosh, it's like right outside it. AU, some phenomenal warding here.
I like this from both sides, though. You see the recognition of what they need to do to kind of play this game at the moment. Dire reading that this triangle is incredibly important to keep top and mid under pressure. You don't want to leave this area once you've dropped wards. This is your place to control. And for Radiant, they're under the play of just shove out bottom, force them back, force them to try and protect their barracks. And if they retreat to defend and bring multiple heroes, then you go to the triangle and try and deward and get control back of that area.
And they are gonna, very nice from TNC, they're gonna force somebody to respond to bottom. The problem is Polaris have an Ember Spirit, so they have no problems with just sending him back and dealing with this wave. But they might
Radiant's middle tower is under
set
attack.
up on him if he's not careful. You can see they are posturing down here in these trees. And Lelouch, it looks like he may suspect something is going on.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're going to see him with this Observer Ward.
Radiant's middle
They're
tower
ready. Look,
has
even
fallen.
Xavier's is TPing in just in case. A really cool read from Polaris. They're going to
they even
scan.
it.
Yep. All right.
Radiant's
You got to be
middle
cautious if you show
tower
too many heroes here, though. Xavier's going to show
They
along with
know
the
that
Lelouch.
they're out. They TP'd the Warlock back into base. They're going to run
Radiant
Natsumi
are
out of there as
scanning.
well. Pops the Ninja Gear. Has a Penta Edged as well, so just juggling between those two neutral items.
Exactly like we were mentioning, forcing back, D-ward the triangle. There's another sneaky ward they're going to be playing with though from Polaris. We got any gems? Yeah, we got one on Krish, okay. And also one just got picked up from AU.
Yeah, and this gem is going to get rid of all of these very sneaky wards that AU is placing. As it feels like we've hit the calm before the storm, haven't we?
Well and truly. Well and truly. It's such an even game. 2,000 net worth lead, but the win probability says TNC a 52% chance, and that's good enough for me to be 50-50. That means nothing 42 minutes in. This is a elimination series. One team is going to move on to face the winner of SMG or T1. And Polaris, they're going to smoke up. They want to be the first ones to make the play.
Look at the positioning from Bach. Oh, never mind. He runs out of the trees. I don't know if they're going to find anything with this.
It's too obvious. Look at the lanes.
Yeah, the lanes. Specifically mid. Xavius is going to come back over here and probably clear this up. He actually has that completed Ags on Xavius.
He's pretty farmed. He's more net worth than the Tide Hunter, in fact. How is this?
Yeah, he is. He has 166 CS. He's just been split pushing phenomenally well. And his magic damage is going to be a very big problem. So you're going to have the Gobble Up stun with the Shard Scatterblast with the kisses.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, Krish.
Oh, Krish.
Oh, my lord. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
I wonder, so I'm kind of just wondering what this last item is going to be for Natsumi. Because the Aegis is going to expire here, so you have one slot left. Part of me thinks you can go Refresher, but also, do you just go Nullifier?
They're ready. They are ready. Natsumi on the high ground. They're going to see Asta. They're going to see Asta.
They see him.
He might be able to force just the corner to be able to bring him down, but a BKB from Asta is going to protect him for the moment. The bash is coming out. Asta. There we go. There's the corner onto two. They're going to try and turn to deal with the Terrorblade, but they don't have the damage. And a Bok is in with a counter initiation. It's a beautiful Ravage, but Asta, all they can do is turn to deal with the Marcy. That's forced out of the team fight, but Asta's going to turn his attention back towards the Ember Spirit. A rock ball by Lelouch, a little bit of time. Multiple ultimates have been forced out. No one having a real big edge here after this fight.
They're going to at least get this melee racks here for TNC during this meta. He's got that level 25 plus 20 seconds metamorphosis duration. And yeah, they're going to try and force this. There's no chrono. How does Polaris take this fight?
It's going to be a hell of a defense from Lelouch coming out. This Ember Spirit could do it all for them. He's been a thorn in their side for the entirety of the game. There's the first stun. Can they follow up Lelouch? He's not playing with any remnants for the moment, but the Gobble Up. Xavius buying some of the time for Lelouch, but it will not matter as Asta's in. He's got the damage pumping out from the Terrorblade thanks to the Metamorphosis, but it soon expires. Another onto the Terrorblade. Asunder buying him some bonus health. He's got the Manta to reposition. Where's the detection though? No vision. And Asta scurries out under the cover of the invis. He's going to go for a TP. They see him. They see him. Oh no, Asta, not like this!
Regeneration.
Oh, they just Polaris just standing firm. Yeah, they lose one of their tier 4s, but they're fully aware that the meta was running low. Despite that level 25 talent on the Terrorblade, and they just bide their time, the meta runs out, and Natsumi just jumps in immediately after. These fights are so chaotic, and you can barely keep track of who's going on who. But at the end, Polaris come out on top. They only use their Ember Spirit buyback. So Natsumi still has his. Oh wait, no.
Middle tower is under attack.
Did Natsumi die?
No, he didn't buy back. He's still got his up.
Is that from earlier? That's from earlier. Okay.
Natsumi?
But still, look.
Radiant structures.
Now no meta.
Fortified.
Oh no, meta is actually back up. Never mind, I take it completely back.
What's the Roche Spawn looking like? Okay, minute till it's up.
Radiant's middle tower is under
They might
attack.
at least be able to get a tier 3 tower. Their siege is really lackluster. Ooh, double refresher as a potential. Sorry, double ravage
Radiant's
would be
middle tower
really
is
scary.
falling.
Refresher on Lelouch as well on the Ember, so no longer will be running out of remnants in these fights most likely,
Radiant are scanning.
like we saw last fight. As this Roche is gonna be pretty much the game decider, right? It's at that point. There's so many big team fight spells. If you don't use them correctly, you will just lose the game immediately after, pretty much.
Natsumi. They saw him
And this item for
D-ward.
Natsumi.
They know he's stuck.
Wait, Natsumi?
Couple of seconds. They're gonna get the vision as well. They have
He's
the
on a
ward.
ward.
This incredible ward placement. Mavis, he might be able to secure the fight just off the back of the ward. Refreshes out. Golem's gonna try and counter his shape. Forces in. A beautiful dispose. It'll give the Faceless Void an opportunity to be able to reset and find a better angle into the fight. Meanwhile, look at Lelouch go. Just tearing apart the backline. And now Natsumi, he finds an opening. Carlo, they need to try and protect him with a wind wake. Get picked up. That might be enough. Sunder, can he find a target? The BKB protects him. They will not be able to find the Sunder. And now Polaris, they sense blood in the water and they're going to pounce instantly like sharks swimming towards their target. 5 down, no casualties onto Polaris, and towards the jugular they go.
The Terrorblade buys back, but Metamorphosis is CD for 100 seconds still. There's another Chronosphere available for Natsumi. TNC. It was looking so good, but the team fight from Polaris is just too strong.
Astra's going for something cheeky.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Astra's going for something cheeky, but he needs the Demon Zeal, I think. I think he needs the Axe Shot to make this work.
Radiant's middle tower is
And you
under
can
attack.
see he's pinging the bottom lane. Lelouch, is he aware? The back door is not disabled yet.
Radiant's top tower is
Astra.
under attack.
I don't know about this, brother. You bought back.
Under attack.
Alright, he's just being cheeky.
Wait, Force's got gem. They see him.
Radiant's top barracks
They can
are under
chase.
attack.
They need to pass over
They
the
go the
gem.
wrong way.
Dire are scanning.
That's what I love to call space created. Easy like that.
Natsumi is still hitting the base, but we said it, their building damage not too great. Though, I guess Warlock has this 15 talent that helps a little bit. Upheaval attack speed on allies. As they will now probably just collect Roshan. Still 10 seconds without Bach. That's going to be more than enough time. And that's going to be Ag's Blessing. Almost certainly for the Faceless Void. It's a fantastic Ags as well.
My oh my. What do you do here for TNC? What are you going for next on TV?
Looky, what's outside the pit here? Oh, okay,
yeah.
well, Force took it. I don't know why he took it, but
To the dire.
Classic. There's a bottle on the ground. It's like, nah, who wants to pick the bottle up? There you go. Alright, what do we got?
Lelouch is
Natsumi.
like, hey, my gold, man.
Come on, man. It's an important bottle for the late game. Could hold a DD. But we got the Scepter on the Void. He's got the Ages as well to play with. And the cheese... Where'd the cheese go? Where the hell did the cheese go? What? They eat the cheese? It's not in the pit, is it?
I have no idea.
Alright, well...
Maybe it got eaten. Maybe they denied it. Who knows? So let's just retrack here. So for these team fights, there's going to be double Chrono from the Faceless Void. Is that it? And then there's the double, obviously the double reset on Fire Remnants for Lelouch. But the problem is, do they have the capabilities to kill Natsumi twice? Because right now, with the Time Walk talents, with the Shard, with the Satanic, it doesn't seem like they can kill him. You
reckon you're gonna go Rapier here from Asta? I think he has to.
I'm not sure. Part of me thinks you can maybe just go
Radiant's
refresher.
bottom tower is under attack.
Okay.
The double BKB could be enough. Because what's really killing Asta right now is Polaris are just waiting out the BKB. And once that BKB is used, they just drop the mother load on him with that chrono and the kisses.
Radiant's bottom tower is
And
under
Xavius
attack.
has the 25 as well. We saw it in that last fight. The +6
Dire's
Mortimer's
top
kisses
tower is
launch.
under attack.
They really do come in like artillery.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I think we did see it by that secret shot fight. They do have a Wind Waker, and it was picked up on Chris.
Radiant's bottom
So
tower
maybe
is
that
under
could be a
attack.
bit of an issue here inside the chrono.
So that's it's 2.5
Dire's top
seconds.
tower is under attack.
Problem is there's 2
Radiant's
chronos. So
bottom
is
tower is under
is that
attack.
enough to save from 2 chronos? It's just so tough.
They're gonna go for the wraparound. I think
This
Natsumi
wraparound-
with that time walk scouted out the smoke. Bok, oh my lord,
look at
Bok!
that!
What a ravage! Where's the follow-up? Where's the team? Asta's not nearby. That's one ravage down. They'll get nothing out of it, and they might lose Carlo as well. He doesn't have a buyback. 20 seconds without it. Oh no, you need every single component for this defense, and TNC, they'll be down a ravage and down a tiny.
Captured in the flame.
He's trying to deny the magic wand that's been dropped on the ground. That looked so good, but
Asta,
the rest of TNC just wasn't in position.
he's going for it again. It looks like they recognize they just can't take these 5-on-5 fights. It's going to force 2 heroes back.
The Ember coming back isn't a big deal, but Xavius coming back is. And he actually shows, so they're just going to shove out this mid lane together. Just got to be so careful, right? The throne is everything after all.
Bok?
And it can't hurt to be careful at this point for Polaris. 25k.
Alright, we are back. They've dealt with mid. No threat of the Terrorblade. Getting creative with going for
Is under
the
attack.
Jugular. They're going to be in with a combo.
The kisses.
There's the artillery, but Bok looks like he's got enough distance back towards the tier 4 towers.
That's a big
Force.
TD.
Oof.
That's one of their main TB killers, so no kisses.
Radiant's
First
bottom
80
tower
seconds.
is under
See
attack.
Mavis force a beautiful use of the gem. Oh, that's crafty. Force using the active to see the tree protector in the tree line. It's gonna buy back at least to play with.
Are under attack.
There's only one Ravage to work with here on Box, so he has to find the $1 million Ravage. Just chucking in for
Radiant's
vision.
bottom barracks are under attack.
Dude, they take it's so slow to get these objectives. Oh my lord. What's the probability? What do you reckon the probability is? You take a guess.
It's got 98%?
Oh my. The Daddy Gavin does not say that at all. We got 24% for TNC.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised as well.
It just does not. That is very surprising. Daddy Gaben is very lenient, I suppose.
I'm just
Granted, 30k gold lead at 55 minutes.
The
Gold
rule
lead
of
just
regeneration.
don't matter as much once you get into these crazy late game scenarios.
like
But it just feels like
School.
I just don't know how the Terrorblade survives a fight. It's got to be some crazy rat shenanigans, I feel like, from TNC to pull this out.
the observer ward.
Especially now that this Snapfire, by the way, completed refresher order.
I saw that. I'm like, alright.
Dire's
Oh
top
my.
tower is under attack.
Oh, Mavis.
Radiant's bottom barracks are
Lelouch
under
doesn't
attack.
get them the information.
That's
Jesus, man.
Dire's top tower.
Oh, they got a tier 2.
if
They forced them back as
they're
well.
doing their best here on TNC.
That's enough time for
Asta-
Terrorblade's buyback to be up.
They're doing their damnedest to delay this game. The question is really just like, what are you delaying for? I'm not sure what item you need. It feels like you need like a rapier.
Carlo
on
top lane.
Asta.
Should be able to secure the kill. I can't imagine he's going to be too crafty with the TP out. Sure. Yep, pops a refresher. Even for this, Carlo's working with a buyback. Quickly to mention a butterfly. Oh, Krish is outside the base. Latifi can get the Wind Waker up, but Natsumi, he's happy with dropping the Cronus here to secure the kill. That's a second death on Krish, but a vital death without a buyback.
He has buyback available, but he actually is short 500 gold.
Radiant's middle barracks.
They're trying to get these bounty runes, but it's not going to be quite enough. They're going to need like 5 more bounty runes to give him buyback. So that's going to be 2 minutes without their coddle.
They're going to see Natsumi has a butterfly as well, so the Terrorblade, no way to be able to pierce through this.
Radiant's middle barracks. Radiant's middle barracks.
And he can definitely play without boots with that time walk range and shard.
Big window of opportunity.
Creeps, why not? Polaris, they're looking to close this one out slowly but surely.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Do you make a play here? Or just wait for everyone to be alive? They do have the heroes to be able to defend Megas. They're going to jump block though.
You have the damage to fight without your coddle. He's so much of their control with that sheep stick. It feels like at this point you almost have to wait, right? The Megas are already coming.
Well, they're going to be forced to do something.
You need to stop. You got to not stop Natsumi first.
Fuck, he jumped in already. A bit of an opening with the blink being on cooldown. Sumi just stacking up the damage, trying to force some reaction, seeing if the poking and prodding will reveal the TNC members. Krish is up in 30, so they bought enough time. It comes, of course, at the cost of the mega creeps.
And they will back Roshan 15 seconds. So just better safe than sorry. There's really no point to not come back for Roche.
Radiant
For Polaris at this point. Although they haven't, you gotta actually go in the pit to see Roche.
This goddamn Abyssal Blade now. Are you this? I don't know if this Bloodthorn item on Asta is gonna be enough. It's like you're at a stage now. I don't know if you can consider Rapier because of the butterfly. Like, that is such an issue.
The blood, it seems like he's just trying to itemize to find the backlines. It's just there's so much mobility from the Faceless Void and the Ember Spirit. Are you ever really gonna find the backlines without Polaris connecting?
Roshan has fallen to the
Gift
down.
of eternity.
What do we got?
Last Ags, yeah, it's going to the Warlock. So he now has Ags Refresher on AU.
They are aware of Asta's position. They circled out. They are hunting. Yeah, they're going to continue.
Asta has just been a menace on cutting these waves. He's going to get another wave top.
Oh, they see him under the ward. They see him under the ward. Yo, Asta, he can't get out. They've got Chrono. There's no way Asta makes it out.
Oh,
what?
dear.
No, that's not supposed to happen like this. Chrono, is he going to drop it? He's going to try and dupe with the illusion. Oh, Asta, they'll fight him now. Natsumi, Chrono just onto the edge. The rock for good measure as well. Asta's got a buyback. What?
Catch the damn rat.
Oh, no. Dude.
As we do hit 60-minute neutral items, though. What neutral items could save this game? First, I don't know if TNC are going to get any neutral items.
They got Fallen Sky, so that's not a horrible one. Maybe, yeah. I mean, Fallen Sky's okay. Is there any game... Ex Machina could maybe change the game. It gives the Terrorblade another BKB. But Polaris, they get the luxury. They force the buyback out of the Terrorblade. They can now get all of their neutrals. As they find a... So let's see. Fallen Sky. What does Faceless Void want? He probably wants Pirate Hat, right? Oh, Mirror Shield is very nice as well. They got their own Ex Machina too. Plus 20 armor is going to be a lot versus the Terrorblade. Extra BKBs to play with, which is really nice. You could even consider Marcy holding it for the double Abyssal Blade if you really want to get crazy with it.
Yeah, you generally, I think you generally just want the Machina for the double BKB on whoever. So probably Marcy. I think I agree with that decision, but it looks like Force is taking the Mirror Shield for now. So I think that's also very nice, especially against the Coddle, right? All of Coddle's stuff reflected by that Mirror Shield.
Yo! The BKB TP, they've got the Abyssal though. Oh no, Krish, again! Another core surrounded. He's got a buyback at least, but you want to be using these buybacks for the team fights.
Daddy Gaben was feeling pretty good about TNC's chances, 10 minutes ago? Well, what are the odds now?
I think before let's see, 5% now.
That's pretty generous still.
Look, it's an early BKB usage out of Lelouch. Gonna try and play around with the first Ravage. Where's Asta for the damage? Look at the Terrorblade. He's scared at the moment with that buyback used prior. Really hesitant about trying to jump in. Natsumi,
he just throws it.
The Chrono onto all four with the Mortimer Kisses for good measure. Natsumi, he's got the Aegis, a second round of the Chrono to play with if required. They got to be cautious though, because the Ember Spirit taking a lot of damage. They'll get the kill. Asta from afar, starting to get the right clicks going. They're going to be forced to reset the position. Box in a little bit of trouble at the moment. The drag back thanks to the dispose. Box not an easy kill. Natsumi trying to lock onto his target, another force to reposition. They're putting all their attention solely to deal with the Tide Hunter, but there we go. Secondary use of the Chrono, locking in multiple heroes, the Rock for good measure, and it looks like Polaris, they'll be moving on, knocking out TNC from the ESL 1 Malaysia qualifiers. It was such a crazy game 3, going over 60 minutes. Without the Terrorblade and the creeps inside the base and all the golems to be able to deal with the objectives, they can get some hero kills, or they can turn to the Jugular to cut them out for the final game. What a way to close this series out, though.
My oh my. When I said we were going the distance at the end of game 2, this is not quite what I had envisioned for how game 3 would go, but honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Game 3, 60 plus minutes. We had it all. Back and forth, crazy team fights. And Polaris, they managed to pull it out after it did not look good for them. Let's just keep that in mind. The game did not look good for the first 20 minutes of this game. But they were very patient, and they used this Chrono Kisses combination. They used it about as well as you could ask for.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think looking up Lelouch as well, he did the most damage with 76,000 damage dealt. The second highest was Krish with 58. And for TNC, of course, this is a series loss where you're always going to be heartbroken after a series loss, especially qualifiers for a really big tournament. But I think for this team in particular, I really hope they take away a lot of confidence from this, because this is a team that really looked rough through 2-2. They just, by the skin of their teeth, they were able to stay in Division 2. Then we saw the next season they got relegated. They made a little bit of a roster change with Asta coming in, and we see this team is able to take some games. I mean, they went game 3 in their series versus Talon, and then we also see them being able to 2-0 T1. They took a game off Polaris, who is looking like a much better team with AU and with Force back. So for me and for TNC, with the rest of, probably they're looking towards next DPC. I think the open qualifiers for TI is still going to be a difficult road for them, but really for me, I think I hope they can take away a lot out of these qualifiers, because there was a lot to look for and a lot to build on for them.
And I think you can feel great for both teams, and you can take away some nice things for both teams. All right, Polaris, they obviously won the series, so you feel great about that. But also just being able to win these tough games for a team that had a tough last season, right? Now making a decent run through the lower bracket of this tournament, a confidence builder for them as well.
Without a doubt. That's a perfect point to bring up. Kind of both teams had that rocky last couple of tours, and for Polaris, I'm really intrigued to see if AU sticks around as the 5. Again, a lot of experience for him. He was the prior coach, but we do have all our other series done as well. Boom Esports are able to beat Talon 2-1, so Boom have secured their spot in the grand finals. And T1 also 2-0'd SMG. So that would have been an interesting series as well. Rage Potato going up against his old team, so being able to knock them out. So next series is going to be
rematch.
Yes. It's going to be some exciting stuff here. I mean, how you feeling about this? Do we get a rematch? No, we don't get a. No, we don't.
Oh no, never mind. If TNC had won, it would have been a rematch. I'm sorry. How am I feeling? So T1 versus Polaris is going to be the big next matchup. I feel pretty good about Polaris in the games. In the games that they win, it feels like they have very cohesive drafts all the way around. But then sometimes in the games they lose, though, it just doesn't feel